Howdy everybody, welcome. We've got here Chapter 1 introducing some of the concepts we're going to use pretty perpetually throughout the course of the semester here, just to kind of give a little bit of support to what it is that you're reading here in Chapter 1. So as we go through this podcast, there's just a couple of things you're going to need if you want to follow along with the text as it is that I'm talking about things. I will use page numbers, so that'll help you kind of locate where it is that we're aiming here. So absolutely positively, if you haven't already, go grab a copy of your text. And while you're at it, if you want to try to program along to some of the screen captures that you're seeing there, the program windows, program 1.1, 1.2, etc., I really do suggest having Visual Studio open and ready to go so you can type and listen and see all at the same time. So first and foremost, if we start on page 14, what is a program made of? Really, we have four different things to focus on here. There are keywords, programmer-identified identifiers, operators, punctuation, and if I said four, I meant five. Syntax is the other thing to have to worry about. Keywords, these are going to be things that are reserved by the language, by the environment. This is what the compiler at compile and runtime are going to use to actually march through your program. These are going to be things like cout. These are going to be things like cin. These are going to be things like end line. All of these we're going to see as we go through the chapters here. And honestly, at the end of the day, as far as keywords go for you to have to memorize, there's really only a list of 35 to 45 in total that are going to get you through this class and really bridge you over to advanced C++ programming. It's not that many. Next on the list, we have identifiers. These are concepts, these are units of measurement. These are things that have a meaning to you as a developer. They're things that are going to have a meaning to the user. We're looking at things like pay rate. We're looking at things like hours worked. We're looking at things like cash money salary. Anything it is that you can point to in a really physical, tangible way almost and say, yeah, this is going to have meaning to me as a developer, this is going to have meaning to my end user, and this is how I am going to logically drive the program forward in being able to actually do some kinds of calculations and manipulations with these identifiers. Continuing on, you can see these on page 15 as well, is operators. These are going to be arithmetic operators like you're used to. Just in case you haven't heard it called arithmetic operators in a while, we're looking at things like plus, minus, equals, divide by, the parentheses, things of that nature that help you tell the program how it is that you are going to manipulate data as we keep going. Punctuation, next, also on the bottom of page 15. This is a way for you to tell the environment that you are done with a line of code. Now, for the most part, this is going to mean adding a semicolon essentially to the back of almost every line. One of the easiest ways for you to go through and identify what the errors are going to be when you compile a program, and we're going to see that here before the end of Chapter 1, is going to be you very probably forgot the semicolon at the end of a line. As I'm going through and troubleshooting, it's one of the most effective things I do to find errors and find issues in your code and mine, is to simply scan the right-hand side of all of the code from top to bottom and look where it is that you or I have forgotten the semicolon. It's remarkably effective, and it's a piece of punctuation that frankly we forget about pretty consistently. Finally, we have syntax. These are the rules that the language is going to follow. These are rules that you, therefore, as the developer, are going to have to follow. It's the way that the language has to be structured so that the compiler knows that this is what you actually mean by this statement. Really, we're going to focus in on syntax and keywords pretty much for the rest of the semester here.